Okay, this is The Phoenix. Some of you will know me from Twitter. I actually wanted to do a quick um pre-review. That is not a word, I just made it up. So, you're just gonna let me slide. I was left in 2 days. It's a pre-review of Luther's premiere of the third season tonight. BBC One at 9 p.m. I love Luther. I didn't actually get into it until early last year after the second season, but it's a fantastic show and I cannot believe I waited that long. So I am glad that I waited that long because, as we all know, with British seasons, they tend to only do one, 3 episodes a season. So they're 1.5 hours, sure, but then you get that whole Sherlock thing and nobody's here for it and all the rest of that. So anyway, I saw it last year. Great, great show, great acting, great plots, good writing, and all that great stuff. Idris Elba fantastic in the role. Of course, we have Alice, who was another great character. The character of Luther himself is, he's tormented. He has all kinds of mental issues. He hates authority. He's willing to go the extra mile, and sometimes that mile is out of bounds to get his man, quote unquote, which you see quite often during the show. His relationship with Alice is of most interest to me. In fact, I prefer his relationship with Alice to that relationship with his ex-wife, who I was never here for. Him and Alice really are two sides of the same coin in that they're both brilliant, but whereas she is bordering on sociopathic, psychopathic even, if we're going to be honest, he, tends to have some kind of boundaries. Um, Idris, for those of you who don't know, well, by now you should know. I don't know where you've been for the last 3, 4 years. He is fast becoming one of the dominant black actors in Hollywood. He's been in Thor, of course. He was Stringer Bell, the iconic Stringer Bell in The Wire back in the early 2000s. He is in Luther. He's now going to be in Pacific Rim. There is no reason not to know who he is. Um, he was in Takers, yes, of course, he was in Takers with Chris Brown for those Team Breezy fans. For those Team Breezy fans, um, he's a great actor. He won a Golden Globe, of course, for Luther last year, which was well deserved. I cannot believe it didn't win with a string about, but that's neither here nor there, and we're not going to pickle about it, and all the rest of that. Let's see. Who do I most compare him to? I'm actually thinking about that now. For those of us who don't seem to know who he is. First of all, let me just say very quickly, I want him to be the next James Bond. I think it's time that we have a black James Bond. I think he would be most fitting. I think he would do a great job in the role. He is probably the only black actor who the white audiences would not mind having. He's British. People know him well enough. He's a likable guy. Um, he has the charisma, really, if we're comparing him to, he has the charisma of Will Smith, but with the dramatic tendencies of Denzel, because while Will is a fantastic actor, as all of us know, twice nominated for an Oscar, Ali in Pursuit of Happiness, um, he tends to go for comedic roles, the Men in Blacks, the Bad Boys, Hitch, and all that stuff. So Denzel, of course, tends to go with Glory and all that, all those kind of roles. So again, Idris tends to be the acting side of Denzel with the personality more of Will Smith, which I think is a great mix because we don't really have that. Yes, you have Samuel L. Jackson, who, again, tends to play Samuel L. Jackson in every movie. And some of you will know exactly what I'm talking about. With the exception of a couple of roles, he's giving us a repeat of the Pulp Fiction role in almost every role. He plays Samuel Jackson in space. He plays Samuel Jackson, as a slave. He plays Samuel Jackson as a whatever else, as a Master Windu and all that stuff. He has diversity, but he tends not to show it. He likes to exist almost within restraints. He restrains himself as an actor and tends to go for the same role. Almost like he's being typecast, I would argue. And I think I want to see more diversity from him because I'm sure you can give it. But we have, I digress. Let's keep it strictly on Idris. Luther's premiere is tonight. BBC One, 9 p.m. There is no reason not to watch it. If you haven't caught up with it, there are 6 episodes. There is no excuse. 6 episodes, 1.5 an hour, 1.5 hours. You could bang that out in 2, 3 weeks, even a month. Get into it immediately. I don't know how many episodes this season of Luther has, but I think at most it would be 4, because they already have to schedule around his new job as a Hollywood actor. So, anyway, watch Luther and listen on later for my review.